Hello everyone, welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brendan Pugh, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the new and improved prologue. Huzzah! All right, everyone, I rewrote the prologue. I mentioned this a few episodes ago. I talked about how I was rewriting it and redoing some things, and I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to turn out really great. I still have one little part to do. I need to kind of bridge the gap between what we'd already written and what the new stuff I've written. I think the new prologue currently is at like 6,000 words, so I need to kind of pare that down a little bit so it's not so long. But I'm just really excited about it. I think it's going to be great. One of the things, if you watched our last Writing Tip Wednesday video about theme, part of this came out of the fact that I really solidified the theme and what we're talking about, what we're doing. So that helped me figure it out. And originally we had talked about this was the beginning of time story. And we kind of moved away from that when we started talking about like the waypoints. I don't know if you remember, maybe 10 or so episodes ago, we were having these waypoints and transportation and where they come from. And so we kind of killed the beginning of the time thing then. We just didn't really know it. And so now I kind of just embraced that. And I said, hey, we're just going to be in the second age or the third age or whatever, the newest part of this. And so then I got to thinking, okay, what happened? Again, going back to theme and character motivation, why are Guyan and Agorath doing the thing that they're doing? Well, what would that look like? So I started writing it thinking maybe we won't put it all in, maybe we won't, but I need to figure out what it is. And I'm really excited about it. It basically starts off with we're back in the world that they came from before the awakening. So we had talked about the awakening. We eventually discovered through writing that the awakening was these wraith walkers, this evil that comes out of the ground. If you want to know more about them, watch our part 2 magic video where I break down everything about our magic system and how it works, all that stuff. So we talked about the awakening and the wraith walkers. So I said, well, let's show the very last part of the awakening, the last thing. So where does Agorath get his power? What does he know going forward? What does he know about the world that he's walking into? Why does he have this quest? We've built this on, Guyan and Agorath are leading their people. Well, where are they leading them? And we know where they're leading them. They want to get to the Evertree because that's going to be where, light and magic and life and all, that's the goal. They want to protect themselves from the wraith walkers. Well, why do they have that goal? Where did that come from? Why do they care about, what's their motivation behind that, essentially? And so that was something I just wanted to explore in this beginning part. And I think, we have a moment in there where I don't want to give it all away. I think you should read it as we post it. It's pretty cool. Obviously, it's not fully edited and all that stuff, but you can kind of get the gist of it. But, we have this moment where Guyan and Agorath's father is dying. One thing that's really cool that I just kind of wrote, and then I was like, huh. So one thing that I've loved is the Knights of Whiteforge, what Guyan eventually becomes. We talked about that in the last episode. If you watched that, check that out. And in that episode, or in that part of the story, he becomes the Knights of Whiteforge. Well, as I was writing the prologue, I wrote that he was already a part of Whiteforge. And so now I'm thinking, Whiteforge is so old, it's been around for so long, it actually came from the before times. It can be the one thing that comes from before. So Guyan is, as I wrote it in the prologue currently, Guyan is already a Knight of Whiteforge, and so now his journey will be to rebuild that in the new world. And so Agorath receives his staff from his father, and we meet that character a little bit, and right at the end, right at his death. And so the reason I decided we needed something like that, it borderlines a little bit of cliche, I think, but ultimately the reason is I need something that I can keep revealing about Agorath. So being able to always go back to maybe these memories or these visions of his father, of like what he taught him and all that stuff, I think will be really cool and important going forward. So I basically my goal with these was to set up, stuff that I can reveal about Gain and Agorath, because I think that's been a problem with them from the beginning. They haven't really been super great characters in that, like, we don't fully understand their motivations, why they're doing stuff, and so there's nothing to reveal about them. So this was an effort to build on that, and I think it's going to be really great. I hope you read it. It sets up a really cool pace. So basically what's going to happen is this whole new part happens where you meet Agorath and Gain's father. He dies. The awakening is happening. They break him out. And then Agorath and Gain get the last of their people out of where they're from, and they appear in the new world. And so it's going to bridge into what we've already written about Agorath looking out and seeing. So they just came from this desolate, broken, burning world with the awakening, and now they've landed in this pristine, green, clean environment that, you know, is untouched by civilization and all that stuff. And then they meet the wolves. So that's the prologue going forward. I really hope you read it. I hope you check it out. If you haven't been following us, please go back and watch all of our previous videos. If you watch the first video, where we are now versus where we started is totally different. Please check that out. And as always, you can check out the book on Wattpad as we write it. Every time we write, we just post it immediately. So it's always available in its current raw form. So check that out. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time on Writing Quest. Huzzah!